What is it that makes a friend? What is it that makes someone an enemy? A couple of weeks ago, Mark Gutman gave a speech talking about the assumptions that we have when we run into someone with whom we disagree. First, we assume, well, they're just not informed. But then we realize they are, so they're just stupid, is the next step we take. And it doesn't take much for us to go beyond that and say, no, they're just a bad person, they're evil. But the assumption we forget about is we're assuming we're right and they're wrong. I'm going to share two true stories sandwiched around a medical procedure I may be forced to perform in this room today. In order to get started, I do need to get some help, and I've asked a couple people to help me, and I want them to keep this candy for me for later, and then I'll ask for it back. You may have noticed in our society that we group around things that we have in common. Whether it's in school, cliques, or neighborhoods that are all the same. Or in this Toastmasters group, we're here because we have something in common. I'm going to talk to you about a couple of people who couldn't be more different, and yet they were the best of friends. One was Jewish, one was Italian Catholic, one was liberal, one was conservative. Their take on such things as abortion, same-sex marriage, gun rights were polar opposites. Some of you may know who I'm talking about, referring to a couple of justices that were on the Supreme Court, Ruth Bader Ginsburg and Antonin Scalia. They were called the odd couple. It was said they had nothing in common except their relationship. When Scalia was asked about it one time, he said, some things are just more important than votes. How can two people who have they hold such different views be the best of friends? Derek Wang was a music major at Harvard. And from there, he went to Maryland and studied constitutional law. As he was reading these dueling opinions, Ginsburg on the one side and Scalia on the other, he thought, how funny it would be to make an opera based on their relationship. So he did. The opera opens with Scalia lamenting the fact that justices are declaring something constitutional or unconstitutional on issues where the Constitution is silent. Ginsburg responds to that saying, my dear Justice Scalia, you were looking for bright line solutions for problems where there is no easy answer. But the good thing about the Constitution is just like our society, it can evolve. Later on, we see Scalia locked in a dark room for excessive dissenting. And Ginsburg emerges through the glass ceiling to counsel him how he can pass these tests that he needs to pass to get out of that room. Another actor and observer of what's going on says, what are you doing? He challenges her. Why are you trying to help him? He's your enemy. To which she responds, no, he's not my enemy. He's my dear friend. I need to now get those chocolates back from those helpers. Thank you, sir. we're
Like you were giving it to
oh, okay. So you all saw me ask them to keep these for me, and I gave a candy to each of them. And it was very easy to get the one back from Mark, but to be able to get the one back from Connor is going to take a lot more work. Scalpel, please.
Okay. There's still a bite left.
So what's the difference? I gave them both a piece of candy. Now I'm taking it back as I asked them to hold it for me. The difference is the one I gave to Connor, he has eaten. Now it is a part of him. So when I innocently make an incision, he's going to assume I'm attacking him as opposed to just trying to get my candy back. I remember the first time that I saw this act out in my family. And let me go back to that question. How can people holding totally different perspectives be the best of friends? The answer is actually in the question. They're holding the beliefs. It's not a part of them. It doesn't define them. It's not who they are. When you're holding a piece of candy, you can do whatever you want with it. You can set it aside, but after you've ingested it, it's part of you. In my family, two brothers and myself worked for my dad's company where we manufactured gate operators. One of my brothers came up with a new design for a gate operator, created a prototype and brought it to us to demonstrate it. One of the things you do with a prototype is you critique it. If you don't critique it, then you're going to have problems that are going to go on for years. But as those critiques came in, that mild-mannered brother changed into a different person. He was very defensive, angry. What had happened is that design and that gate operator became so much a part of him that when we were criticizing the design, he viewed it as being attacked himself. In our society, we need to be able to learn from these justices, to be able to hold the beliefs without making them define us, making them be a part of us, ingesting them, so to speak. Even the holding piece, if you hold too tightly, just like with candy, it's going to make a mess. So holding them lightly. Then any two people, no matter how different they are, there are commonalities. And if we focus on those, it allows the relationship to flourish.